Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video: how does the VA address incompetency? When do they rate incompetency? And also, when will they rate you competent? In today's video, I'm going to break it down for you, so make sure you stick around. Okay, before I get into today's video, make sure you click the link below. We still have seats for our monthly veteran membership. You can find the link to the landing page in the description section. So, incompetency. How does the VA rate incompetency? When do they address it? Also, when will they rate you competent? As a former VA rater, I adjudicated several of these claims. So today, I'm going to explain incompetency, competent, but more so how you, the veteran, can ensure the VA does not rate you incompetent. Let's get into it. Slide number one. Here in slide number one, taking you back out to the M21-1. And this topic is, this M21 reference is considering whether to address competency of a veteran. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the entire M21 manual reference, but if the claimant is a veteran, address competency in a decision whenever there is entitlement to benefits or the potential for the competency decision to impact the outcome of a determination about insurance entitlement under 38 U.S.C. 1922 and, okay, they didn't say or, and qualifying evidence raises a question, and I'm going to show you some of that a little bit later, as to the mental capacity to contract or to manage their own affairs, including disbursement of funds without limitation. Okay, so I'm going to break that down in some later slides for you. Address competency as a separate issue in the rating decision when incompetency is proposed or a previous rating of incompetency is being reconsidered. Okay, so there are going to be several factors. Some of the factors in cases that I rated, the veteran was Baker acted. That's one. There was a judgment, meaning maybe the family took the veteran to court and said, hey, judge, we need you to consider this particular person incompetent, or maybe a doctor. But I'm going to show you some evidence on some VA forms that you need to pay close attention to. But those are just some examples of when evidence, I should say, I received where I had to propose incompetency for a particular veteran. Slide number two. Here in slide number two is an extension of the previous slide, the M21. I couldn't fit them all, the entire reference on the same slide, okay? So it says important. Competency must be addressed in cases where a mental condition is initially evaluated as totally disabling or when a total evaluation is continued in a rating decision. Now, what they mean by that, when, let's just say a veteran is granted 100% for PTSD, and that's it, just 100% PTSD for any mental condition. This is when the VA will have to do a separate decision on if you're competent or incompetent, okay? Nine times out of 10, I've seen it where they say they're competent. So for example, I'm doing a rating decision. Yep, man, I grant the veteran. The veteran submitted an actionable and sufficient DBQ from their private examiner. I don't need to go out for any other VA third-party CMP exam. Nugget, okay? Well, maybe I should say that was a nugget alert, all right? Because I got some more to give you. It lands on my desk as a rater. Oh, I can use 38 CFR 3.326, subpart B and subpart C to go ahead and rate the case without a DBQ because I got an actionable and sufficient DBQ, all right? So And that DBQ shows total and social occupational impairment. Also on that DBQ, the examiner states the veteran can manage their funds. So not only do I grant the single 100% for that mental condition, I also have to take issue with competency. The veteran is competent because the doctor stated that they could handle their funds. I'm going to show you that on the DBQ a little bit later, okay? So if you go back and look at the other slide, what did they say? Disbursement of funds. Where is this information at? Okay, man, you know what? I'm dropping all these nuggets. I'm giving you all the blueprint. Let's keep going. When individual employability is awarded or conditioned on the basis of a single mental health disability. So you can actually, let's just say you're 30% for PTSD and you claim IU. You don't meet scheduler, okay, which you could if they give you an increase. So if you look at some of my older videos where I say how to win your claim for IU, IU is not an individual claim, right? A standalone claim. So what should happen? They're going to send you for an exam. That exam is going to be an increase. They're going to let the doctor, hey, the veteran is stating they're claiming IU due to their mental condition. We'll just say mental condition, okay? And you get 70%. They increase you to 7%, and this is all you have. And they grant you IU. They're going to have to do a separate issue and address competency. Is the veteran competent? Yes. So you're going to see four things in that rating decision. An increase from 30 to 70 for that mental condition, IU, Chapter 35, and the vet is competent. So there's 4 issues, and the veteran only claimed IU, okay? So that's when you will see it there. The mere existence of a mental condition with a total evaluation does not automatically correlate to a veteran's inability to manage their benefits. All raters should be looking at all the evidence, okay? Just not one piece, especially if you're posing a competency. You want to make sure you are looking at everything. So if you go down below, the last sentence there in red, there is no evidence of record that shows that you are unable to manage your financial affairs. 38 CFR 3.353. Where do we see that? Slide number 3. Okay. Determinations of incompetency and competency. Definition of mental incompetency. Now, VA's definition. A mentally incompetent person is one who, because of injury or disease, lacks the mental capacity to contract or manage his or her own affairs, including disbursement of funds without limitation. That was in the first slide in that reference. Now I'm showing you the 38 CFR. So again, the employees have to look at everything, meaning all the evidence of record, before they decide to propose incompetency, okay? Now, I want to say something, I'll say it again. I'm going to repeat it again. Disbursement of funds. This does not, I'm going to say it again, this does not mean, oh, the husband is the veteran, the wife is the spouse. The veteran is an over-the-road truck driver. So the spouse pays the mortgage, pays the car insurance, pays the car note, the light bill, the water bill. That does not make the veteran incompetent. It just means that one individual is paying the bills while the other one is at work. That's all it means. But if that veteran is an over-the-road truck driver and they're not married and they're paying their own bills, okay, they're competent. So even let's go back to the spouse paying the bills. If the veteran can pay the bills, that doesn't mean they're incompetent. They're competent, okay? They decided in that particular relationship that one person is going to handle all the affairs. It doesn't mean that the veteran can't step in and do it. I've seen veterans make that mistake, okay? Let's keep going. Slide number 4. Here in slide number 4, another reference for you. Reviewing competency information received on a VA form 21-2680. I did a live stream today, at the time did this recording. I was showing my veteran members the 2680, explaining that form, and we actually talked about that section, okay? So I'm only going to cover what I have highlighted in red here. The examining physician may indicate whether the individual has the mental capacity to manage benefit payments or direct someone to do so. Also keep in mind, at the top, or I don't think it's at the top, but on this form, it explains, this 2680, it explains who is allowed to complete the form. Okay? This is an added note. We're reviewing the competency information on 2680, ensure the requirements, 38 CFR 3.356C. Okay, so going back to that regulation, I showed you, I didn't show you C in there, but you can go back, look it up, or look it up yourself, okay, and look at C, have been satisfied. Clear, convincing evidence that leaves no doubt as to the person incompetency. All evidence of record and a consistent relationship between the percentage of the disability and or facts relating to commitment or hospitalization. So again, people, the rater has to look at all of the evidence, okay, of record. Okay, sometimes it's just one form. Sometimes there's, evidence from the VA hospital, private physician, a DBQ that was completed showing that the veteran cannot handle their financial situation. Also, there are VA employees called field examiners, and they go out and they make contact with certain veterans, and they may say or recommend that veterans should be rated incompetent. Okay, let's keep going. Slide number 5. Now, this is the 2680. Yep, this is the it is not the 2680. I stand corrected. This is actually on the mental DBQ, whether it be for PTSD or other. So remember, earlier in those other slides, what were they talking about? Look at the note. For VA purposes, a mentally incompetent person is one who, because of injury or disease, lacks the mental capacity to contract or manage his or her own affairs, including disbursement of funds without limitation. Okay, where do we see that at? We saw that in slide number 3, 38 CFR 3.353. Okay, so they took it right from that regulation. Is the veteran capable of managing his or her financial affairs? If the answer is yes, they don't have to address it. Unless in this DBQ, if they check that box, total and social occupational impairment, then they have to address it. So they're just going to say, hey, the veteran is competent. So if you're 100% for a mental condition and you're like, wait a minute, why did they address competency? Because remember that reference I showed you? They stated in that reference, it states they have to address if you are incompetent or not. Now, a lot of veterans will check no based on that scenario I gave you of a veteran and a spouse. What that means is, okay, veteran, if your wife or husband is handling the bills, but you can do it and you all chose one or the other to do it, or the spouse to do it, that's the spouse that's not the veteran, do not check no, check yes, okay? Because if you can step in and manage the affairs, then you're good to go, okay? I've seen veterans make that mistake, and then they get their rating proposal incompetency, and then they're doing an RVSR hearing. They're like, oh, wait a minute. And, it just messes things up. All right, let's keep going. 6th and final slide. This is off the 2680, okay? In your judgment, does the patient have the mental capacity to manage their benefit payments, or are they able to direct someone to do so? All right. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into this because it's the same as the previous slide, that information they're asking on the mental DBQ, all right? So if you're able to manage your affairs, you're good to go. If not, then some veterans will say, hey, I'm not competent. I need a fiduciary, okay? And it goes through the rating process. The veteran gets found incompetent. It goes over to the fiduciary. They'll sign a fiduciary or ask the veteran, do you want a family member or something like that, okay? But just know when does the VA rate incompetency or proposes incompetency. All right, there's a lot more information out there about it, but I just wanted you to understand, when will the VA address competency, and when will they address competent? Incompetency, when they will address incompetency, and when will they address competency, okay? You need to know both, especially if you are total and social occupational impairment for a mental condition, all right? That's very, very important. Also, do not forget, we still have seats for our monthly veteran membership. You can click the link below in the description section and get signed up. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.